I got an unwoke opinion, but
That's why.
Anytime Peach does this back thing and goes like this, I know this is something that he's gonna be like, "Yo, we should cut this out."
I got an unwoke opinion, but I don't know if I should say it.
Say it.
Don't say it.
Nah, it ain't gonna be a bleep.
Hey, you can't hear what you never reveal.
I know it's bad because Maul.
I know the shit he says.
I'm trying to phrase it.
Without thinking about it.
I'm trying to figure out how to phrase it. Because I don't know if it's I guess it's is it a woke opinion? I don't even know if it's a woke opinion. But I don't.
Okay, Maul. Interesting. How would you?
Don't do that. Nah. See, because I want y'all to know. I want y'all to know they suppressed me. I am being suppressed on my own show.
I just want to let you know you were heard.
Okay, as long as I was heard. But I wasn't heard. I wasn't heard by my platform, by my
That's intentional.
my viewership, and my listenership. I wasn't heard by them.
No,
but you were heard in the room.
I'm being suppressed.
That's fine.
With that said, I'll get us down into maybe a deeper hole here. Not that I could ever get this role because one, I'm not an actor. Two, I'd have to do blackface. I would still take the role of Marvin Gaye in the biopic if I had to kiss a man. Terrance Howard said he would never do that, even though I think he'd smoke that role. I don't think that's weird if you're an actor to kiss a man in the script.
Well, you don't, but certain people feel like it is weird. They're just not. And we've had to talk. Shout out to our guy Jay Alphonse. We've had to talk with him about that. About when it's art and having to approach a role like that with his role in P Valley. What do you do to prepare for that as an actor? You know what I mean? Like, do you just completely dive into that role, the mindset, the person, the character that you're playing? It's not really you, quote unquote. It's the character. But some actors and some artists, they just don't. That's something that they're not willing to compromise on. They're just not willing to do that.
Cool, and I understand people and their boundaries. But what's so funny is Terrance Howard said he would turn down the role. It wasn't even in the script. We know that famous Quincy Jones article, which is probably my favorite. I think my favorite print article that's ever existed on Earth. Down to Tupac with Vibe magazine talking about the Big and Puff thing. Quincy Jones interview was the greatest thing I've ever seen, where he revealed that Marvin Gaye, Richard, everybody's fucking each other. But Terrance Howard, like the rest of us, read that. And when the thought was even brought up that there could be a Marvin Gaye biopic, and I think he would be great for that, he was like, nah, I heard he kissed a man. No, it's not even a script yet. How we even know that's going to happen?
Just want a real life. I heard that's what he did in real life. Like, nah, I don't want no part of that.
You're dedicated to a different level of homophobia that you don't even know it's in the script.
That's not true.
They didn't even ask you to do that?
That's not true. That's not true. Quincy, when he was asking Quincy Jones, he said, I'm hearing rumors that Marvin was gay. And I was like, was he gay? And he was like, yeah. And then he said, I can't play the role because he's gay. They're going to have some type of love stuff in there. You can automatically, that.
Are they though? I don't know if they would just have that in the movie because he really was, because that's not a known thing.
That wasn't a big part. Like, all right, I'll put the Aaron Hernandez Netflix series or whatever the fucking network it was on. That was a big part of that story, was he was suppressing gay stuff and all that. The Marvin Gaye story, the gayest part about his story is his last name. Like, outside of that Quincy interview, nobody was ever running around like Marvin Gaye is gay. Like, that's not something people are waiting for in that biopic.
Yes, but Terrance Howard also knows Hollywood in 2025. If you think they not sneaking that in there.
Of course. I see that point. But also with that, if it's true, I don't think Quincy Jones is a liar at all. I actually think he held back in that. Because after he said who killed JFK, he asked him, do you like Brazilian music? He was trying to get off like topics. So if it's true, who cares? Then it's not Hollywood trying to add in some gay shit to demasculize men or do the gay agenda. Yeah. If Marvin Gaye had that and we don't make the whole story about him being gay because clearly sexual healing is much more than men, why the fuck would you? All right, if there's one kissing scene with a dude, you not taking that role? You playing Marvin Gaye, one of the greatest voices ever.
This is Terrance Howard. Terrance Howard doesn't have to take any role. Terrance Howard can do what the fuck he wants to do. He can not work again for the rest of his life. If he's not attracted to men and doesn't want to kiss men and it will make him feel uncomfortable and that's his boundary, he can turn the role around.
I'm not saying if that's your boundary, cool. Terrance Howard can do whatever the fuck he wants. I'm not trying to tell him to do something different. I'm speaking in general. If you're an actor, that role wouldn't be something that you may ease in to really tell that story? Like, this is a very important story to the world.
It's still gonna get told.
Okay.
Maul, is there anything you wouldn't do entertainment wise?
I'm not kissing no man.
I mean, we know that. When I tell you we know, we know that. But just things that might be normal that other
that's
people.
normal?
No, it definitely is normal. Like, I wouldn't do a nude scene. I want to be an actress very bad, but I would not do a nude scene. And
What do you mean you won't do a nude scene?
I wouldn't do a nude scene.
You wouldn't show bush or you would show nipple?
God, you're old.
I think you would show nipple.
Bush, I wouldn't either. I wouldn't do either. But that's a boundary that I have.
I feel like it'd be weirder than showing bush.
You wouldn't do it topless?
Nope.
Really? I mean,
Which
Queen Latifah went topless. You can go topless. Queen Latifah went topless.
Because I'm not comfortable doing it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not comfortable doing it. And I also don't think it's necessary. I think that there's a lot of nudity in TV that is not necessary to tell a story.
Completely agree there.
It's a lot of gay in TV that's not necessary. I said Rory
a lot of sex shit, period. That's it.
I was like, it's not even a part. Rory was like, it's not even part of the plot.
No.
Turn it off. Turn it off.
Okay. And I'm not trying to go against our woke conversation to be that guy, but there's been plenty of like regular heterosexual people are attracted to sexual stuff. There's mad unnecessary titties, ass, sex scenes that had nothing to do with the fucking plot.
It depends on whose titties it is.
Now, granted, even like Euphoria,
Margot Robbie, it made total sense in Wolf of Wall Street when she opened the door and was completing. I thought that was a
part of the plot when she was said at dinner, "We're not going to be friends." Like plotting against a man with money. There is something there, and of course, you are also creating art. And let's not act like naked shit isn't art. At the end of the day, it was done in a tasteful way. The shot, everything.
Love the whipped cream,
and even adding in nothing too quick, like the dog at your fucking leg, like
beautiful.
To me, that was a tasteful sex scene. Added into it.
Is that Scorsese?
Yes.
Love him.
Which, by the way, doesn't lean on sex scenes like that at all. So
doesn't need to because he actually has actual talent.
But even like Euphoria, which I thought there was mad unnecessary dicks in that entire thing, I also had to think, okay, they're playing off the amount of unnecessary titties and ass that have been in film since existence. Like it's a sexual thing as humans. It's not really a sexual preference. During films, we just want to see titties and shit.
I'm cool. I'm
not trying to convince
you. So that's your line. You wouldn't get nude.
I wouldn't get nude.
What if a director had like a passionate reason why? Because I've heard actresses and even like men talk about it where they had to do sex scenes they didn't want to do because the director was so passionate on how it moved the story and how it moved the shots and like.
That's what's up. Find another actress.
Fair.
And that's why I'm saying I don't think that everybody's like, Terrance, how are he so homophobic? I don't think that's homophobic. I don't want to kiss a man. That's crazy.
Yeah, not wanting to kiss a man doesn't make you homophobic.
But that's the thing that people do though that I think is wrong. Like they throw that label on you just because you said, like you said, that's just his boundary. Like there's nothing wrong with him saying, I don't want to kiss a man. Like now he's homophobic because he doesn't want to kiss a man.
I don't think he's homophobic.
That is crazy. But I'm just saying the fact that people say that in his response
maybe because
to that.
he said I would cut my lips off.
Oh yeah, he took it a little far.
If I kiss some man, I would cut my lips off.
It's a little far.
I don't know. I felt him. Like I don't know, man. I felt Terrance on that.
Who the man? Like
I don't know, man. No, but I mean, Terrance he's in his right to if he doesn't want to kiss a man, take a role because.
I hope he hasn't heard the most recent Kanye.
Oh, you know he's heard that.
Are there any podcast interviews y'all wouldn't take? Outside,
what?
Okay, hold on.
Who are you talking to?
Have you been on this show before?
You know how many years we've been doing this?
Okay.